So Michael, it's a few days on now from the draw at Swindon Town. You've had a few more days to think about it. A few days on, do you feel that your team still deserved a bit more from that game?
Well, it probably was a fair result as regards to the way the game panned out, but I think we were so dominant in the first half without really creating that final moment. But because I genuinely believe if we'd have scored one, we'd have gone on to score 2 and 3. On reflection, after the 90 minutes, they had a bit of pressure again without really hurting us. So it was a good point away from home with us. It was nearly a very good performance.
And you are at the moment missing still some what fans would consider maybe some key men. Obviously Ryan Broom was missing at the weekend, Jacob Maddock's been out for a while, but you're still putting in controlled and impressive performances, so you must be pleasing that other lads are stepping up into the breach almost, and that you've got a squad that can do that.
Well, the work that's been done on the training ground doesn't involve just 11 players. Everyone's involved all the time, so you need to be able to, the 2 good players that you just mentioned there, and they do help you, but if they're not available, they're not available. It's no point crying about it. It's what it is. And people have come in the team, and particularly in recent weeks, affected good performances coming off the bench and affecting the game that they've come on to. So it is good. It's signs of improvement. We need to get better. We know that we need to keep getting better and better. But I think in 13 games it is now since we changed the shape, we've lost 2. So there is signs that we are becoming better. Yeah,
and that work on the training ground is obviously helping, because we're going to places like Port Vale and Swindon and controlling a lot of the game away from home. How important is it, especially when you're a team in our position, that you are going to controlling games and not just perhaps at times defending almost for 90 minutes?
Well, that was the key Saturday against Swindon. We stopped doing what was giving us our success. We're not hiding behind any sort of philosophy that we're a possession-based team and this and that, where you just pass it around the back and then end up whacking it forward anyway. We are keeping the ball with a purpose. We're hurting teams, getting into good positions. And that's what we didn't do in the second half. We never came out of our shape because they came on to us a little bit, and that's what to get better as a team. We need to weather a storm and then have the confidence in each other to go and play again. So 2 pleasing away results, performances, and then obviously the 2 home games coming out now. If we can show signs of playing like that and maybe being a bit more of a threat in the final third, then hopefully the supporters will cheer us on as well.
And perhaps those times like in the second half on Saturday at Swindon, when perhaps that control loosens a little bit, as a manager, do you look at individual players to stand up to take that control back, or are you looking at perhaps particular departments on the pitch, like your defenders, your midfielders, to do that, or is it a collective?
A bit of everything really, a bit of collective. Is looking at, that's what the debrief of the game was. Look how good you were first half, and then we stopped doing it second half. Why? So recognising that, I like the fact we did defend well without the ball, but we ended up defending well without the ball for 40 minutes, 45 minutes. Whereas you might have to weather a bit of a storm, like I said, for 5-10 minutes and then rechange it again. You can't dominate a game like we did in 45. It's very rare that you go and play 90 minutes like that. The opposition will have a spell at some point, so it's recognising when they're having that spell, be patient, and then recognise, right, we have to re-affect the game again. So that was the learning tool, hopefully we can learn from.
MK Dons on Boxing Day, of course, going very well in League 2 at the moment. Earlier in the season when you played them, of course it was 3-0, but 2 late goals there at Stadium MK. How do you view that as a game going into Boxing Day?
I think they've got better since then. I think we've got better since then. I think it'll be a good test for us. So the 2 teams that we have lost in this little run that we've been on is Bury away and Accrington away. So 2 good teams. This is another good team. So it could be a benchmark to see how far we've come or how far we've still got to go. So it will be a tough game because they are in the top 2 quite comfortably. They look to play football at similar sort of formations, so hopefully it'll be a good game.
And in terms of the Jonny-Rocks Stadium, of course, there was a problem here. It was a difficult place for Cheltenham to play at, but recently we've got the 2 wins over Newport. There was the win over Grimsby as well. It's becoming a much improved home form. How important is that going to be in these 2 games coming up at the end of 2018 and, of course, moving into 2019 as well?
I think supporters will have seen an improvement in recent weeks, home and away, with performances and results. So we just need to keep doing what we do. Like I said from the day dot, I said supporters aren't just going to turn up. They want to see good football, they want to see a winning team. And hopefully we're sort of providing a little bit of both. So if we can have 2 good performances in the festive period where the gates are normally up a little bit, show people that what we're trying to do, hopefully a few more will come back.